If you have been hearing about supply and demand, or S&D for short, but you still don't know how to spot them or how to use them, stay with me. In less than 10 minutes, I'll show you what they are, how to find them, and how they can change your trading game. Sickled here, so let's go. So what is S&D? Supply and demand. These are price areas where buyers or selling pressure is strong enough to reverse price. These are areas where buying or selling pressure is strong enough to reverse price. So demands are areas where buyers step in and price tend to rise. Then supply are areas or zones where sellers step in and price tend to fall. So how do you spot a supply and a demand? So after each break of structure, a supply or a demand is created. After every break of structure, a supply or a demand is created. Just in this, like this my annotation now. After each break of structure, a supply or a demand is created. So this is demand. After this bullish demand zone, so after this break of structure, everything here below this break of structure is a demand zone. Everything below here is a demand zone. And after this break of structure downward, everything above the break of structure is a demand zone. So it's just like a market, or a market. So below here is your market. Below the break of structure is your market. Above the break of structure is your market. So this is bullish demand zone and this is bearish supply zone. This is bullish demand zone, this is bearish supply zone. So let's head to the chart and go spot out some demand and supplies. Here we are on Australian dollar USD 4 hours time frame. So this is a bullish demand zone. This is a demand zone. I said demand zone. Supply and demand zone occurs where there is a break of structure, and I said it's just like a market. And inside a market, when you go to a market, you see different stores or shops that sell different things. So that store and shops inside the market is what I'll be teaching on my next video. So here we have break of structure to the upside, making it a demand zone, making all this area a demand zone. Buyers are inside here. That's inside this market. Buyers are inside here, waiting to sell to willing buyers, waiting to sell to a willing customer, a willing buyer. Here we have the supply zone, which is the bearish supply zone. Below this break of structure, from here, below here, sellers are waiting to sell to a willing buyer. Sellers are waiting to sell to a willing buyer. So here we are on Euro USD 2 hours time frame. So we have this break of structure here. We have this break of structure here, which is what? The bullish demand zone. Bullish demand zone. This is a demand zone. Break of structure to the upside is a demand zone. Below here, these zones will reverse prices upward. Buyer steps in on this area and reverse the prices upward. Right here, we have a break of structure to the downside, making it what? A supply zone. Making it a supply zone. Sellers are in this zone and they are ready to take the price downward. So demand and supply zones occurs where there is a break of structure. Now you know how to spot supply and demand zones. You can start marking them today. Don't expect every zone to hold. Combine this with your overall strategy for a better result. If you find this helpful, like and subscribe. See you on the next one.